Aloha A team. Well, we're coming into the home stretch here. Coming into the final 3 days of our flush. And we have some folks who are a little bit ahead of the schedule, and I wanted to post this video about how I work with the coffee enema process. And it's been difficult for me to find the right kind of positioning for the camera on this. I got to admit, I'm doing my best here, but I'm still in my tiger onesie from this morning. So I've managed to have a really good Sunday. And, it's all an exploration. Be prepared to do it for the first time and do it less well than you'll do it the next time. And I'm going to give you as many tips as I can to really optimize the experience. So we're going to use this jar to represent the coffee. We're going to use this little dropper to represent the... So what I want to say is that this coffee enema can be a really pleasurable experience. It's a culmination where this is kind of the birth moment, in a sense, of the new us. The final flush protocols are kind of intense. They're kind of what I consider the sort of the contractions or the birth portal. We're going into labor with our new us. And you can think of this coffee enema as the distinct moment when someone new emerges from the ashes of the old. And we've released, because we're not becoming someone, we're just getting out of the way of the one who's already in here, in the deepest sense, already here. And we're getting all of the stuff that we've accumulated over our lives out of the way of this beautiful creature, so that she or he or they or it, dragon, can emerge into the world more fully than ever before, and less fully than maybe someday. But I'd never really done any kind of enema stuff before I started working with this flush, and I'm super grateful for it. It adds such a powerful dimension to the journey of cleansing and a culmination, like I said. So in the morning after your second salt flush at 8 a.m., you will warm up your coffee that you prepared by putting 3 to 4 to 5 scoops of coffee into a mason jar and filling it with water the night before, room temperature water. It's going to sit overnight. If you don't do that on Tuesday night, if you don't do that on the night of the first night of the flush protocols, day 10 of the fast, then you'll have to warm the coffee up, and it'll be more acidic and less favorable to your system. Some people prefer to use green coffee and boil it hard. I've done both, and I find that for all the extra work that the green coffee was, it didn't actually do what I felt to be a substantively better job. I didn't enjoy it more. I didn't produce more of the material that I was looking to produce with this particular flush. Maybe if you do coffee enemas more regularly, green coffee would be a better choice. But in this case, we will have prepared our cold brew overnight. We will have woken up, drank a 6 a.m. shot of magnesium and an 8 a.m. shot of magnesium. And then we will warm up our coffee just to the right temp, just to the perfect baby formula temperature. 99 degrees, 100 degrees. Keep it below 102. You don't want to hurt your insides. They're really tender, really sensitive. So make sure that it's the right temperature. And either you're going to put it in a jar like this and use a bulb to pull the coffee out, and then squeeze one bulb at a time in. Make sure you always get rid of the extra air so you're not blowing air into your colon. Or you can see this bag, this is the enema bag, and it has a hose attached to it, and it's got a little stopper at the end of the hose. and you'll hang the enema bag above you. The higher you hang it, the more pressure is going to be in the system. So you want to get it to the right place where it's above where you're opening the hole, but not pouring so fast that you get filled up really fast and then you have to go to the bathroom. Because as you'll see, we want to be able to hold it in our bodies for a while. We want to be able to work it around in our bodies. And while I do this, I listen to the opening of the fifth seal, which is the seal of forgiveness in the Corpus Christi Sacred Seals tradition of the Gene Keys. And it's a powerful contemplation and prayer for forgiveness, for the full releasing of all debt, inside, outside, as above, so below, releasing all debt. And really powerful portal to move through in this particular way, because we're flushing our liver and gallbladder and releasing the unforgiven. We're releasing the things we've held on to that we already ate and digested and pooped most of it out, but we still have little bits still stuck in our bodies, still working on us, still limiting us in some way, still corrupting our digestion and potentially growing in there to a greater problem down the road. So we want to clear that. We want to release that. And we get to do that in this process. That's the physical that we do. And we can feel everything we feel. And we can keep our breath rich and full and gentle and deep as we move through this journey. But once you have your coffee warm, you've got your playlist ready, then you want to go ahead and make sure you also have some coconut oil to lube the tip of whatever you're using to go into your bum. And you're going to hang that bag, or you're going to set your coffee down next to you. You're going to make sure you have something laid out here that you don't mind getting poop and coffee on, because you're probably going to get some coffee on it at the very least, and it might come out of your bunghole. So make sure that you are in a space where you can be at peace. Nobody's going to disturb you, where you have it laid out. You've got some incense burning, maybe you set the mood for yourself. You don't want to go, you got to get yourself in the mood. It's a romantic moment. It's a precious moment. So get all those things, get the lighting just right, all the things. And then get to boofing that coffee. So I'm going to take my bulb and I'll squeeze it and I'll suck the water out. I may have to pour it in. It depends on how efficient the bulb is. But then I make sure that I tip it upside down, or I make sure that I get the air out of it. I squeeze it while it's right side up until a little bit squirts out, and then I know I've gotten the air out of it. Then, if I'm a tiger or a dragon, I have to make sure my tail is out of the way. Make sure that the tip is lubed, like I said, and you're gonna find your bunghole, and you're gonna find the angle. There's like a right angle and there's a wrong angle to do it, and everybody's is probably a little different, but mine is kind of more up. And you're gonna insert that thing to the hilt, whether it's the tube or whether it's the bulb, and then you're gonna gently squeeze and empty the tube into your body, and you're gonna ready some more. Or you're gonna open the little valve and let some water trickle in. You're gonna feel it, it's gonna feel interesting. Look and see how my butt is above my heart. I'm trying to create a little gravity feed that makes sure that the stuff goes in and pours down into my belly a bit. And I'm gonna let a little in at a time. If you let too much in at once, you might have to hold it in. But what you wanna do is just get as much in as you can hold, a little at a time, and then work your way. I place my left shoulder down to keep the coffee in there, and then I lay on my left side. Now, if you have enough in there, you're gonna feel your tummy sag toward the ground. You're gonna feel your tummy sag toward the ground, and you're just gonna lie here, and you're gonna massage it. You're just gonna swish it around in there, and you'll hear it going glug, glug, glug. And you're just gonna massage and work it around in there. And you're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna forgive yourself for all the things you ate that you shouldn't have, and all the things you put in your body, and you're going to love yourself. Oh, thank you. I love you. You're going to release any attachment to continuing to do harm to yourself through food or addictive patterns. When you've hung out with that side, and by the way, I only usually get about half a liter at the most into my colon before I'm going to burst. So most of us should be making enough to do this twice, and that's favorable. I think it's a good idea. And if you like put it in and just shoot it out and nothing really happens, and put it in and shoot it out and nothing really happens, you can do it again. But you might have to, warm up the coffee differently or whatever. But after you've worked it in here for a satisfying amount of time, there's no right or wrong, then what you're going to do is, keeping this left shoulder on the floor, you're going to lift your hip up. See how I lifted my hip up? And I'm turning around so that my hips are above my shoulders. And that is getting all the liquid to pour into my transverse colon. It was here on my left side in the descending colon. We worked it. Now it's here in the transverse colon. It runs across the bottom of your ribs. And you're gonna play with it some more. Keep your butt up. You're gonna wiggle it and waggle it and jaggle it. If you're all yogic and shit, then you can put your hands under your hips. You can get fully upside down, right? And then you can waggle it some more. Just being upside down and making sure that the liquid is in the transverse colon, in the high point of the arch of your colon. Now, here's the fun part. Practice it before you have coffee in your colon. You're gonna lean over to that right shoulder, turn the legs, and slowly come down on your right side. And now, here on the right side, you're gonna work. I'm only turning around so you can see me. Don't try to do this at home, kids. You're gonna work the ascending colon. Now here's where the gold is. Now the coffee is right up next to your liver and gallbladder. And this, when the coffee's in the ascending colon on the right side of the body, that's when it's in the best proximity to call those things across the barrier into the colon. That's when you're gonna get the most activity, is when it's down here in this side. And you can lay it on its side, keep it, again, trying to work with liquid, the water and the coffee, and just swishing it around in there. And you can come up a little bit and work with it way down at the bottom of your ascending colon, right? So you can work it through. The basic principle is you're working it through your colon, using what you know about gravity and how you know to move your body to keep it from pouring backwards, right? And from here, it's all up to you. You can do some headstands if you want. You can just lie on your back. I usually spend a lot of time after I've gotten it in my ascending colon. I'll carefully roll on my back and just be with the transmission, be with my feelings as I listen to it. I usually put the transmission on after I get the stuff in my bum, because it's a little distracting trying to put the coffee in your butthole while you're listening to like an invocation of the 5 elements. So I recommend waiting until it's in and then hit play and then start your colon yoga. And just work it. Touch yourself lovingly. Invite these things to come out of you. Review people who you need to forgive, moments you need to forgive yourself. Find the most beautiful level of forgiveness that's available to you today for everything. And it's not going to be done, unlikely to be done today, but you can complete some things today. You can put some real dents in some massive emotional baggage by really cohering the emotional release with this physical release. And eventually, you're probably just going to have to go. If, 20 minutes later or something, you still haven't needed to go, you might want to put some more coffee in there and keep adding coffee and keep swishing it around and working it around until that stuff is going to want to come out. And I recommend doing this as close to a toilet as possible, because there's no stopping it when it's ready to go sometimes. And so you don't want to leave a trail. I promise you that. And you're going to be back and forth. You're going to squirt a bunch out. It's going to feel like a huge relief. You're going to look in that toilet and you're going to see things that you never expected to see coming out of you. You're going to get all curious, I hope. Pick it up. Check it out. Smell it. This was inside of you. It's fine. I wouldn't eat it. Not until soup day, at least. But that's it. That's it. And we usually have a ritual of disavowing that we do. It's an egg ritual that was taught to me by my teacher, Kai Carell, that was taught to him by a Ukrainian bruja, by a Ukrainian witch. It's rubbing the egg on our body and disavowing all previous sort of vows and cleansing our body off with this egg, cleaning everything out of every part of us. And then we break the eggs together. So that is likely what we're going to be doing during our time together on the flush day. And so if there are adjustments that need to be made to your schedule to join us for the disavowal, even if you're not doing the flush on that day, I hope that you'll be able to join us, because our group energy for that can be very powerful. And being there for it is very powerful. So if there was one day that you, besides our celebration day, that you are willing to get up early or set aside a commitment to try to make, that's the day. A ritual of disavowing all of the unconscious agreements we made in the past that are no longer working and serving us. Disavowing any loyalties to any principalities or entities. Disavowing, letting go of, severing, completing anything that needs completing in a ritual way. That's what we're here to do, fam. So we can be born again as the whatever 0.0 version, infinity 0.0 version. And it just keeps getting better. I don't know that there's any done, but there's better and better. And I'm so grateful to be on the journey with you. Thank you for enduring my rather interesting background right now and this camera situation. Thank you for your patience. And I wish you such exquisite release. I wish you such nourishing and profound forgiveness. And I have a forgiveness meditation that I will also be sharing with you all. That's a wonderful practice tool for building our capacity to forgive others, to release and let go. And starting with ourself. That meditation is a self-forgiveness meditation that is applicable outside of the self. So, this tiger is signing off for the night. Aloha.